Hello again. Welcome back
Welcome.
to the Opinion Outlaws. And
Mm,
we have done this purposely, right? We
mm,
have put
mm,
we have the same color shirt and actually even the same type of shirt.
exactly.
So
And this time we're celebrating the fact that we managed to get our audio works. Yay!
yeah, let's go.
The real story was that we were actually trying to get our new camera working, which is actually right next to us somewhere. But well, for some reason we didn't get it work. But instead, what happened when we were trying to make it work, I deleted some things I was supposed to not delete, and
Porn.
nah, nah, nah.
No,
What do you mean?
it was not porn. It was an
Wasn't
act
porn.
it was
Yeah,
actually a thing that
yeah,
he needed for a computer, but he deleted it to
yeah,
thinking that the camera would work.
yeah.
But the bitch ass camera, yeah, I'm telling it. The bitch ass camera said, "You know what? Today I'm out. I will not help you." So,
Except the camera didn't work, I accidentally deleted the whole driver used for audio. So that was painful almost. That was a bit aggravating, but hey, we at least we didn't get our camera to work, but we managed to get the audio work, so we can be proud of that. But hey,
of course,
yeah.
sometimes somebody would just give up and leave.
Mm,
And actually, this is our theme today.
mm,
This is our topic today
all right.
about pitfalls.
Yeah. What is
Uh,
a pitfall, by the way?
a pitfall. What is a pitfall? Well, basically, a pitfall is this is a great example what happened to us
Mm,
today.
exactly,
Actually,
exactly.
what happened was the things that supposed to work didn't work.
Mm,
The things that can go wrong went wrong.
yeah.
And now the pitfall is that what are you going to do about it? I will believe so. So
Mm,
you are put in a tough situation. I didn't want to record this on this camera because everybody knows this. This is not the best quality of camera. Like you can see it in YouTube, you can see it like in other places. This is not the best quality of camera. We had, like I said in the Instagram as well, we have over 1,000 euros of camera over there, which didn't want to work.
mm.
Simple as that. So I have to go and talk to a little bit about people.
But I have to negotiate a bit.
Yeah, I have to negotiate and give them a deal that they cannot refuse.
What are you?
B-
What are you, Godfather or
no,
something?
I'm not a godfather. However, uh, then what are the choices? The choices are that we just say fuck it, let's leave, and we
Mm,
out. All right. This
yeah,
this is one of the choices. Like you know what, it's not working. We out. The
yeah.
second option is that we still do it and we still come here and we
Mm.
still talk about things. So the pitfall was things didn't go our way.
And you know what is very good part about it? I, since we were struggling with the whole thing, which was kind of basic, but still we managed to get it work. The feeling that got out of it, I think it was one of the best feelings you can get. Even though
Get the
no
mic
matter how simple,
mic better.
all right, yeah, no matter how simple problem it was, really, still getting that kind of thing, very simple thing to work, feels really good because you take at the same time sometimes when you have these things working like audio, you take those things for granted very easily, and then you forget how important it is to have the audio. And now we were almost about to lose it, but now because we got it work, it brought this release of endorphin,
Mm.
dopamine, a really great feeling. Uh, Like I think that was at the same time a good thing because it contributed to the vibe of this episode now that we're having
Yeah,
in many ways.
yeah, and absolutely, absolutely. I believe, personally, I believe that there would be hundreds and thousands of millions of people that if that kind of tech doesn't work,
Yeah, yeah.
it would just pack up and go home like a little bitch. But we still are doing this, even though it's not the best place to do it.
Mm.
Even though we don't have the best circumstances or the best voice or the best audio or the guy is not behind or the camera like
Mhm.
because there are not best circumstances, we
Yeah,
still
yeah,
manage to do it and we
yeah,
still come here and say, okay, well, things are not perfect.
yeah,
Well, We will still do it.
Yeah, and someday we will have a cameraman, and someday we will have the audio engineer behind the scenes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So we
sir.
don't need to mind about it now. The most important thing is that we are going to talk about it. We're going to do the things that we do the best, which is talking about the things that we
And
do
doing.
most here
We talk and do.
and do.
We don't just talk.
Yeah,
Understand that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We walk the talk.
Yeah. The fit
Mm.
the
Yes.
pitfalls. The pitfalls. What are the actually pitfall? The pitfall, an example that we gave is actually here. That actually what happens. What happens is things don't go your way, or things get manipulated in a way where you cannot function in a certain way
Mm.
that or you are used to, or it affects you in a negative way. Let's say, for example, just like this, that don't get things to work. Let's say you are in an exam, your computer doesn't work.
Mm.
Think about that stress situation that you are in an exam, not even like a school exam, acceptance exam, where you
Mm.
want to get in that school
Mm.
and you're passionate about it and you know you're good at it, and then
Mm.
all of a sudden the computer to be like, you know what, I have done enough this time.
Mm.
I'm not really going to
Mm.
f around with you. So that, for example, is a pitfall.
Mm.
But I would say that what we wanted to more describe a pitfall is that if you get in a very bad situation in
Mm.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are different types of situation and different type of things that will get you to places that you don't want to be. But pitfalls usually are like a place where people will go. It's not a unusual thing. Like
Mm.
everyone will experience it. And don't get me wrong. If you believe that you're kind of Superman, or you don't get hurt or destroyed or whatever, then you're absolutely wrong because you're not anything else but a human. However, we will now go through this pitfall theme deeper and deeper
Mm.
and discuss it in a, I will say, very practical level.
Yes.
So, Puru, I will give stage to you. Do you have? I'm gonna ask.
Yeah.
Oh, you have something.
Yeah, well, I think like you already described what is a pitfall, but in the context, what we're talking about, I guess we could go revise it again,
Yeah.
so go through it again. So in this context, when we're talking about pitfall, we're not just talking about usual pitfalls like your computer doesn't work or you don't pass the exam. Those are like things that everybody faces at some point, most likely. But now, what we're talking about pitfalls, what we mean by pitfalls are limitations or distortions that our minds are setting for us for a reason or the other. We don't know why they happen, or actually, for the most part, we actually do, but we cannot always say exact moment when they come and why they
Mm.
come. But what matters is that thinking errors are things that are holding us back. And now we're kind of
Now I have to say something. Put this circular ring closer to the mic.
this.
This one. You can
Yeah,
move it.
yeah.
Put it closer to the mic. Close.
Closer to the mic.
Yeah, closer to the mic.
Or
Yeah, there you go. A little closer even.
a bit
Yeah, there you
closer.
go.
All right, all right.
And now it should take your like a voice, actually voice, because we can see that when the voice is not doing
Mm,
correctly, and
yeah,
we are trying now our best to make the voice
yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
yeah. Anyways,
yeah, I'm sorry about the
yeah.
interruption.
No worries, no worries. So what I was about to say. So pitfalls.
Yeah.
Pitfalls. Basically, pitfalls are something that for a reason or the other we experience certain things, certain ordeals, certain obstacles, and sometimes when our way of coping with them isn't the best possible, for some reason or the other, our mind creates this kind of, let's say, boundaries. They tell us, okay, so you cannot do that, I cannot do that, they cannot do that, or whatever. Basically telling you, okay, you must do this, you cannot do that, blah, 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 blah. The point is that there are things that are distorting your thinking and they're causing you a lot of misery and pain and frustration in many ways.
Yeah.
But like my question to you, like, can you name some examples that you know about thinking errors that are you're most familiar with, or you know that are most debilitating in a way to people?
Yeah. And I actually know.
Yeah.
Actually, no. And these are actually things that will keep you from achieving whatever you want.
Yeah.
The, the, this is not like me talking from some book or some podcast or whatever. This is what I have seen from people,
Mm,
and there are usually three things: laziness, arrogance,
mm,
stupidity.
mm. Yeah. That's actually interesting because I had a whole list of different things in my mind, but you had like three.
Yeah, I have three. The reason is because I can see that everything can revolve around them.
Oh, I see, I see,
You
I
get what
see,
I'm
I
saying?
see. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
if you are if you are smart, if you are humble, like I'm talking like humble, you're proud, but you're not arrogant, you're not overcompensating, you're not trying to be something that you're not.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying?
mm,
But if you prove to yourself and everybody else that, hey, I am smart because I know this, I know this, I know that, I know that, and you have all these things that you can prove and showcase that, okay, this is why I'm smart,
mm,
then for sure. But then you can be smart, but if you're lazy or arrogant, well,
mm,
what does that make you? You're still lazy and you're still arrogant. Nobody
mm,
wants to be with a lazy person. Nobody wants
mm,
to
mm,
be with an arrogant person.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember you. Hopefully, I'm just sorry, but I remember a few days ago you were actually. I heard you talking with someone else, describing about arrogance,
Yeah.
and you were talking that sometimes arrogance can be a good thing. That
Yes.
caught my attention, and I would like you to kind of describe more about it because I thought that you made a lot of sense in there because usually when we think about arrogance, we think that arrogance is 100% bad.
Yeah.
You should never be arrogant. You should never act like you know better or you are better. Well,
Yeah.
there's a fine line there, but So what do you said that
Yeah.
sometimes arrogance can be justified. So what do you mean by that?
Yeah. And it's more it's more of a pride thing than anything
Mm,
else.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you somebody can say the arrogance for sure. Like
Mm,
in Finland where we live, if you are prideful, you're actually proud of who you are
mm.
and where you come from and
Mm,
what
mm,
kind of lineage you have and what kind of work you have done.
yeah,
Then in Finland you will be received arrogant no matter what.
mm,
No matter that you have a
yeah,
pedigree
yeah,
of actual proof of these things that I'm good
yeah,
at this, I'm
yeah,
good at this, I'm good
mm,
at that, and have proof to all of this.
yeah,
In Finland is very arrogant, even though you
mm,
are proud about it.
yeah, yeah. I think here in Finland it's more of a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing.
Cultural thing
Yeah,
that because we want to show that we are humble, we don't make a huge deal out of ourselves. We like to say that okay, yeah, no, no, it wasn't a big deal. What do you mean? You made this and this and this? Let's say that you made 10K per month, for
yeah,
example. Oh, that was nothing. That was my duty. I was supposed to do that. Come on, like, like
yeah,
many majority of people,
yeah,
I would say many want that, and but still, Finnish are somehow, how do you say, socialized to think that it's better to be humble
yeah,
than to be take pride. Of course, there's a fine line. Of course, you can be proud, but
yeah,
at the same time, when you start bragging, that's always
yeah.
annoying.
That's an arrogance thing.
Yeah, because when you brag, then you're saying because my accomplishments that makes me superior than you,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the difference.
And if it fact is true that you have in every possible metric, you are better than them.
Mm,
You are better at this, you are better at that, you have this, you have that. Like you can prove to them that you are in every possible metric better than them,
mm,
then I think it's justified if you are arrogant about it.
mm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you have an ego and then you justify it
yeah,
by the proof that you are putting on the table.
yeah. But the question is, if you know that all, why do you need to show it to other people?
You don't need to.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the thing. Yes,
You
you don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to, but you can demonstrate, and then if it comes, when it comes naturally showing that okay, I got these things, that's in my opinion, that's kind of the right kind of pride you want to carry because you don't make huge deal out of yourself, but you're still showing you got things going on in your life.
Yeah, yeah. There's only one difference about it.
Yeah.
The difference is that if you are actually great,
Mm,
but still people look at you that you're not, then you have to go and say, I am the great.
mm,
I am the best.
mm,
And listen up. If you actually say, even if you don't believe it, if you actually start to say, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best,
mm,
in your head or in a shower or with yourself or whatever the case may be, you will start to actually believe it. You will start actually think that, okay, I am actually the best.
mm,
So when you're, and of course, then you have to prove it to yourself and everybody else that you are actually the best.
mm,
In what? Well, you're best in finances, you're best in physically, you're best emotionally, you're best in socially, you're best in dressing, you're best in
mm,
getting laid, you're best like there are a lot of things that can
mm,
can be at what.
mm,
But think about if you are best at all of those things, because all of those things can like you can change them,
mm.
right? The only thing that you cannot change in my view that I have seen in life is height, like actual height. Of course, you can go and operate, but then the benefits from it will not be like it
Yeah.
will not be the best thing. But for example, height is a thing that you cannot control.
Mm,
It's not in
mm.
your control how much you grow.
Yeah, like like I consider myself, actually many people as well consider me that I am long. It has nothing to do with that. Do I identify as long? But it's more
Not
of
not long,
not long,
tall,
tall. Anyways, long, tall, potato, potato.
but he has a long. You know what I'm saying?
Moving on. Anyways, I am
Anyways,
tall. I have a long, but I am tall, and like I've never made a huge deal about it. So sometimes I do find myself feeling confused. So what makes you feel ashamed about that? That's something that I find myself feeling a bit perplexed about. But I've never heard actually that there are people who are going to get some extension for their length. That's to me that sounds,
really.
yeah. It's just, actually I've never, at least not that many times, would I've heard about it.
Yeah, in Finland maybe it's not so
Yeah.
common, but I've seen people who have like had actually extension in leg put.
How?
They just drill like they actually cut the bones in the leg and they
Mm,
just try to add the bones like more and more.
I see.
So therefore, yeah, you will be taller guy,
Mm,
that's for sure, but you
mm.
cannot play, you cannot run well, you cannot walk well. Like you lose all those things that you need in life.
Like, what is the point? I would say that I would understand if
Mhm.
you want to gain more length for example, basketball, because many basketball players need to be a bit longer, right? Am I
Taller,
correct?
taller,
Tall,
yes.
tall or long? Well,
It
anyways,
helps them, yeah.
it helps them. So the only reason I would say, of course, I don't know how they think. I don't know why you would want to be more taller.
Mm.
But like one of the reasons I would assume why people want to be taller is because they want to do something which is well they think for a reason or the other that their tallness is limiting them, so they want to be
Mm.
taller.
Yeah.
I would understand that, for example, a bit not so tall basketball player wants to increase his tallness, but now since his performance it will be impaired because
Yes.
of that more tallness. What is the point?
Yeah, well, I would believe that it's more of an ego thing.
Yeah.
And but I also sympathize because
Mm,
both we are tall guys. We are not like big guys,
mm.
like 6'5".
Yeah.
Neither of us is like or 195 centimeters.
No,
We
no, no,
both
no, no,
we
no,
are not,
no, no, no.
but we are tall,
Yeah,
above average.
yeah, yeah.
And because we are above average, it's a little bit harder for us, for example, to put ourselves in a
Mm,
guy who is average or below.
yeah. But I at the
You
same time,
you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it's hard for us to put there because if he uh, if he has a self-esteem issue with the fact that he's short,
Mm,
where does that come from? You get
mm,
what I'm saying?
mm,
That's maybe the question that where does it come from? Because I remember we had actually one guy in the class. He was drunk when he approached me, and he said that, man, you tall guys have it easy.
mm.
I'm looking at it like, dude,
What?
every guy has it same.
Dang.
Is
Damn.
the same thing for every guy. The only difference, actually, the only difference is that which guy uses what he got.
Mm, exactly. It's not about how tall I am, but how I carry my tallness.
Yes.
How do I like? Do I take care of my body? Do I go to gym, for example? How do I sleep? How do I eat? Those kind of things. They contribute. You can be short and still you can take great care of your body and look better than most of tall people who are basically neglecting
Yeah.
their physique for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's really my like yeah, for me it's a very odd concept to think that yeah, well, you tall guys have it better, but yeah,
Yeah.
some
It
people, but of course we all have our own ways of perceiving things. I understand that, but like I guess one of the problems there as well is like thinking that the taller you are, the better you are as a man,
yeah.
and that's totally bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
That's
totally wrong.
facts.
That's totally wrong.
That's facts. I'm gonna give you an example what I'm talking about.
Mm,
There is always that, okay, women like tall guys. Why? Because biologically it tells that she is smaller, therefore she can be protected. Like that's the base of the
mm,
basic.
mm,
And then from there it builds like, okay, if the bigger he is, the bigger probability
yeah,
it has for him to save her
yeah,
from a danger,
yeah,
if that happens.
yeah.
Now, there is one caveat about it. Can he actually do it? Can he actually be a violent guy when he needs to?
Mm,
And that's a whole different discussion
yeah.
because this isn't a now a case where you can look at it in a way and then ask yourself, well, there is a guy 2 meters tall. In 2 meters, like 6'9", 6'8"
Mm,
in American, and he's jacked. He's very big. He's strong. Don't get me wrong. Like he's actually a big dude, and he starts to talk with some lady, which is normal. But the lady has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend is short.
mm,
He's actually a short one, 170 centimeters,
mm,
like 30 centimeters height difference,
mm,
about a foot.
mm.
And he starts talking to him, that that tall guy. Hey, this is my girlfriend. Could you move on? Like, I would appreciate that you wouldn't do you don't talk to my girlfriend.
The tall one tells the short one.
No, short one
Oh,
tells the tall one because short one has a
yeah,
girlfriend.
because I had a vision that that would be just some messed up gaslighting there,
Yeah, they
you
is.
know. Yeah, but
Yeah,
anyways,
a short one tells the tall one that, hey, could you just back off? I don't want no problems. I don't want no anything to do with you.
mm,
Could you leave me and my girl alone? He says it in a nice, calming way. And the tall guy, he has it usually. Usually, it's not like this. But this is a scenario, right?
mm,
This imagined scenario. The tall guy is used to get what he wants because he's a big guy.
mm,
Everybody looks at him like, okay, he can be mean. And the tall guy goes, "What you gonna do about it?
mm,
You short little boy."
mm,
And then the tall guy pushes him.
mm,
But what he doesn't know is this short guy is a martial artist.
mm. Damn,
And now this martial artist
he's gonna beat the shit out of him.
is gonna put him down, no matter
Mm,
what kind of size of strength there is.
mm,
And he puts him down.
mm,
My question: even if that woman would be unfaithful, unloyal, let's say she was a garbage woman,
oof, yeah.
and she would look at him, that tall guy, that tall, handsome, muscular guy, and she was thinking about, okay, I'm gonna go. After he got beat up by a shorter dude who didn't look like he can beat anybody up, what do you think? Does that woman still feel attraction to that man,
So does that woman feel attraction to that shorter man,
taller man?
taller man?
What is the answer? Who knows?
Well, I think like because in the situation, the man, the shorter man, was defending her partner. From that perspective, I would say that maybe the shorter one was the one
No, I'm talking about that. Does she has attraction
for
towards
the
the
towards the
tall
tall one.
guy?
I think
Initially,
yeah,
initially, yeah.
yeah,
Initially,
initially
like
yeah,
initially, she looks at him like, oh yeah, he's attractive, he's
yeah,
attractive man
yeah,
because he's tall, he's handsome, he's
mm,
muscular,
mm,
like, and those are the traits that are associated with that
mm,
defense and territory, and they feel like secure. But then he gets his shit handed,
mm,
and all of a sudden he doesn't feel and he doesn't look like he can
mm,
actually do something.
mm.
So therefore, her attraction
Exactly, exactly.
drops
Yeah,
exponentially, like phew.
mm,
And why is that? Well, simple. He cannot defend her if he needs to.
yeah. And the shorter one, even though he would might not appear the most masculine person, because he was defending, or not even quote unquote defending, but he was defending his partner. Now he was showcasing those masculine traits of defending and
Exactly.
protecting, and that was basically he was doing what a man was supposed to do in that situation,
Yes.
defending their loved ones or people they care about.
Yes. He actually showed what it's like to be a man.
Yeah.
So in this case, in this scenario, do you think that being short is actually a bad thing?
Mm.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
If of course it will be like be provoked, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. It's not bad thing until you choose that it is a bad thing.
Yes. And of course, everybody has problems. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody has these
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
they want to be better at.
Yeah. And we're not, of course, we're not judging anyone for having this because, yeah, everyone has their own issues.
Yes. So therefore, we are just going from topic to topic, but
Yeah.
we were talking about the pitfalls and the things, the traits that would get you to him. I've said arrogance, laziness, and stupidity.
Exactly.
And why I say this, laziness, if you're lazy, let's be honest, you will not get anywhere.
Mm.
Anywhere in life. Because you're lazy. You don't put effort. You don't try to showcase to anybody.
Mm.
Second thing, arrogance. Arrogance, what I'm talking about is he actually thinks he's better than anybody else or she, and then she doesn't have or he doesn't have anything to prove of.
Mm.
She or he doesn't have anything that they can show and justify their
Mm.
arrogance. Then it's a bad thing.
Mm.
And the last one is stupidity. If you
Mm.
don't know stuff, if you cannot read, if you cannot write, if you cannot communicate, if you cannot
Mm.
do all these things,
Mm.
then yeah. So you will put down in the pitfalls. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe right
Yeah.
now. Maybe not now.
Yeah.
But in a 1 month,
Mm.
3 months, six
Yeah.
months,
Yeah.
year, 5 years, 10 years. It happens. It will eventually happen.
Mm. And why that is because, well, even though you might have a very small pitfall, whatever it is, that kind of situation you would never expect to compile into this bigger entity is because, well, problems tend to start packing up each other, like they start
Yes.
piling up,
Yes.
and then they turn into this huge pile of dirt, and then you have a lot of shit to figure out,
Yes.
basically. But my question now, because you said you had those three things, so you had laziness, arrogance, and
And stupidity.
stupidity.
Yes.
So now there's also this thing that I know at least called intellectualization, which is basically where people they like to entertain these very deep and very complex ideas. Okay, they read a lot, they study a lot, they reflect a lot, but they don't take action. Where would you say that this intellectualization goes from these three?
I would say laziness.
Laziness. Why?
I would say laziness. The reason is that it is much easier, in my opinion,
Mm,
to go and read a bunch of books.
yeah, and not
And
take action.
yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let's say now you're an investor, or you
Mm,
want to be better at women, or you want to get physically shape. Yeah, reading and getting information n- to not be stupid
mm,
actually helps, actually gives you the proper
yeah.
tools and steps and roads that, okay, I can walk this way, I can do this, I can do
Mm,
that, and it helps me along in a way. But you will not get, you will not be a great investor if you don't lose money at some point.
mm,
You will
yeah.
not be good with girls if you don't get your heart broken
Mm,
or if you don't get rejected
Mm.
multiple times, you will not be physically fit if you just read some books.
Mm.
Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
You will how will you do? You have to actually go and do it.
Mm.
You have to actually go and put money where your mouth is. You have to actually go and talk to a woman, actually real woman.
Mm.
You have to go and actually hit the gym.
Yeah.
So I would say laziness
Laziness. Okay, that's interesting.
because they are not stupid, they know,
I know.
and they are not arrogant because they are learning. You cannot
Yeah.
be arrogant and learn.
Mm.
It's I believe it's near impossibility. Like
Yeah, I think they are color. Anyways, they are kind of polar opposites
yeah,
in a way that the more you think you know, the less you're. Oh, I don't need to know that. I don't need to read that.
yeah,
I know. I know. I got this.
yeah,
And then you don't basically do anything to improve your knowledge about anything because you just, well, I got all this knowledge, so I don't need to learn more. But the thing is that things change, and
mm,
before you know know that already you find yourself caught off guard that you don't know what you're supposed to know.
yeah,
But
exactly.
how about like intellectualization? Like, is it always laziness part, or can there be some other reasons why people choose to let's call it mental masturbation because it's
Mm,
basically that is what it is. You're mentally masturbating. Oh, that's a really cool idea. That's really interesting. That's really blah blah blah. I like this idea, but they don't do anything.
mm.
Can it be only laziness, or can there be some other reasons why some people are preferring to, not take action? Can there be some fear, for example? Can there be something else?
Yeah,
Whatever. What do you think?
that's why I said laziness because laziness usually comes from fear.
Hmm.
You get?
See.
You see?
Hmm.
Like,
Why is that?
well, what if I fail? What if I don't fail?
Hmm.
What if I succeed? What if I don't succeed?
Hmm.
Those are usually the things that keeps people out. And I'll tell you, it's interesting because the one thing I see this over and over again, and people have it more common and common now,
Hmm.
that they are so terrified to make mistakes.
Hmm.
I have made like I'm gonna be honest. I'm not this guy who knows how to talk like this because I just was born. No, I'm a young kid. I'm still going,
Hmm.
but I know how to talk like this because I had to do mistakes. I have done a lot of mistakes, and the
Hmm.
worst part is that people have actually reminded me of those mistakes.
Oh.
Yeah, people have. Think about it. Like, think about the fact that it didn't matter that you spoke perfectly for the past 10 minutes.
Hmm.
If you said one word incorrectly, there were
Oh.
there were students and teachers and anybody who was around it
Oh.
poking at you that hey, you said this thing wrong. It didn't matter you say all these things right.
Hmm. That's
But
interesting.
yeah, but then you learn. Then you do things. Then you learn and learn and learn and do it again. And you take a mistake.
Yeah.
And now, for example, I'm gonna be honest. I have watched our podcast and I'll see where I do mistakes
Hmm.
when I speak,
Hmm.
and I take notes. I actually look at okay, this is the place that I did wrong. This is the place I did right. This is the word I don't want to use. This is the word I want to use.
Hmm.
So it's pretty simple actually in
Hmm.
this game. The problem is that we are conditioned by a from a kid, by society, by schools, especially schools, to not make mistakes.
Hmm. What do you think? Because it would be better for us to focus on learning instead of beating ourselves up
Mm,
for those failures. Just saying, "Oh my fucking god, I made a mistake. I'm such a piece of shit." Those kind of self-talks we
yeah.
have sometimes. Why are we conditioned to that? Because although we know for the most part that that isn't gonna help us forward,
Mm.
no matter what we do. Why? What do you think? Why is that the case that schools are thirsting that for us?
Well,
In a way.
it makes people dumb and lazy and arrogant.
Mm.
So it goes back to those three
Mm.
things that I said, because if people are lazy, people are arrogant, people are stupid, they will not try anything. They
Mm.
will not try to do anything. So
Mm.
therefore, they will just go do the work, go home, and watch Netflix or whatever they watch.
Mm.
You get like they don't have anything that they want to do after that.
Mm.
Okay, some hobby. What else? A hobby, bro. If you don't do even that, you just go to work. What are you doing then?
mm,
You're just a waste of time. You just go to work and pay taxes and go home. You know that if you die tomorrow, nobody cares because then tomorrow there will be an opening for your position.
mm,
That's a fact.
mm,
There's no company. Understand, there is not a company who actually cares with your heart. It cares about your money. How
mm,
can you manage the money?
mm,
If you can bring money into the company, you will be the best human being over there. But trust me, you die tomorrow, the
that's very
open
simple.
the opening will be there.
Mm,
I guarantee you that we have an opening. They won't even tell you what happened. They will just have the information that hey, there is a new place at
mm,
opening and who wants it.
mm. Yeah, and that's understandable because business need to keep moving. They don't have time to follow. Okay, even though okay, yes, sometimes when it's in a very let's say high status position, then of course they might stop for a while, but still they keep the roles moving because they know that the more time they use wasting or waiting, oh, this is horrible. This person was this and this and this and this. Time goes on, and like they say, time is money, so they don't have
Yes,
time for
sir.
that. So
Yes, sir.
therefore,
Yeah, you're asking the right questions because it's always about the questions, not
yeah,
about the answers. We
yeah,
all we all know this.
exactly, exactly.
So,
Mm,
were you asking another question, or I'm gonna give you now? I'm gonna ask you a questions.
okay, all right.
So, you said you have a list.
I have a list. Well, not a list, but some things I was already thinking about because these are something I have struggled with. I've seen people struggling with those. Some of them are something I have struggled with, I'm struggling with, or maybe I will struggle with. You never know. You never know. But let's say few of examples. Well, I think this can be something that you already know, you have read somewhere, you have heard somewhere, whatever. But I think like you already mentioned a few of them, like fear of failure is a very huge one. Fearing that, oh my God, what if I make a mistake? What if I will be a permanent failure? Or
It's
fear of success.
how impossible it is to be a permanent failure. It's actually impossible to be a
Mm,
permanent failure. My bad, I interrupted, but
no worries.
it touches me because if you say you're a permanent failure, then you're absolutely and utterly retarded.
Well,
You are. It's impossible. If you fail, that means that you will win.
mm,
There is no like. It's not. It's not a thing that you are permanently just
mm,
failing and failing and failing and
mm,
failing.
mm. And you know the interesting part there is actually I made this realization 2 years ago that the only way you can really be a failure is by choosing not to try even. That's the only way you can, for 100%, you can be a failure and be fully confident that you're a failure when you don't even try. That's the only way you can really know. Or the other one, of course, is that you die.
Yeah.
Then you cannot try even
Yeah,
if you
then
wanted
then it's over, my guy.
to. That's
Then
game
it's over, my guy.
over. Game over. Quits. But yeah, fear of failure is a huge one. And actually, we are gonna talk about this dude today who is struggling. Just for a few moments later, we're gonna read this comment by my friend who was asking about his situation, and we're gonna just reflect on it and see what is up with him. But before that, a few other things related to that. Some other thinking errors. I mean, fear of success. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I said it. What if I
You say,
succeed?
oh, I see. I see. I didn't hear that. But anyways, fear of success is very close to it. But the difference from fear of failure, it's very closely related to it.
Yeah.
But it's more, it has more social tone to it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so when you go to this position wherever you want, for example, you get a promotion, let's
yeah.
say in company, you go from a basic coworker to a sector supervisor, for example, whatever it is,
Whatever.
something that you feel like, okay, so now I have more obligations and now I have more responsibility to take care of other people. Then some people just get over it and move on, but some people start fearing, oh my God, I had these all coworkers with me, but what if now I am this position? What are they gonna think about me?
Mm,
So that kind of leads to that terror of like fearing, oh my God, am I gonna lose those people who were there for me?
yeah.
So that leads to that fear of success that you fear that because you got this thing, the people are gonna take it from you, maybe because of envy, mostly with envy, but or some other personal vendetta they have for you because you got something they didn't get.
Yeah.
You never know. But
Yeah.
I think the envy is really key word there.
Mm. Yeah, they look at you and they are jealous about what
Mm.
you got.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that really quite a lot contributes in a way to Finnish humble culture in a way. Maybe
Mm.
we have this assumption that people will be envy. So for just in case we are just humble so that we don't raise any alarms and
Yeah.
nobody will be that envious for us. Because when we are, that's actually one way to kind of release that envy. When
Yeah.
you're someone, oh, you got that new job. Ah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just something I really worked hard
Yeah.
for, and not making a huge deal out of yourself. That helps.
For what he said, I have a great story.
Mm,
It's a short one. I I made something happen. It was a yeah, it was a contract.
mm,
It was an actual contract that I made here in Savonia,
mm,
and it was a big load of money. I would say it like this. And when I came and I told her that, hey, look, I have an autograph of it, I have a permission, I have everything that we need. I look at the price, and they look at it like with a multiple zeros, and they look at it, wow. They actually were looking at me like, wow, how
mm.
did you do it? They were expecting, maybe not, but they were expecting like, ah, it's nothing. I actually said, yeah, I did it. What's up? The expression on their face was, the expression on their face was like,
Oh my God!
yeah, like it was so unimaginable that somebody would actually say that, "Hey, I fucking did that. Hey, that's
Yeah,
my thing."
yeah,
It
yeah.
was, but
Like,
it was great, like for what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. That's a really great example, and I can just imagine they were having a stroke. I wouldn't be that surprised if there was an older woman. She would have a stroke for that. This is just way too much for me. I cannot handle it, But yeah, joke aside, yeah, that's a very funny story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just makes a point that Finnish people are just so accustomed to hearing it when they compliment you,
Mm.
you're just gonna be like, eh, it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's like, you don't take any pride, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's a
It's just hard work and blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
hard work, bro, please. And also, why I hate this is because I come from a culture where if you're not proud, that you're a bitch. Like it's very simple like that. Everyone is proud about who they are and
Mm,
where they come from.
yeah.
And I have talked about this in other podcasts, that the difference between my culture and the culture in Finland was such a day and night. When I was
Mm,
proud, it was like a threat. You get what I'm saying?
damn.
But that's a different topic about it.
Mm,
Um, thing is, we have few examples of pitfalls that we can share,
yeah.
and then we can have, for example, this guy. I have one example that I read today, and it was disgusting, and it's an
Mm,
extreme way of pitfall. I told Puri a little
mm,
bit, but it's not.
mm.
I didn't tell him all the details.
Yeah. And actually, the right very next example, we're gonna talk about victimization. So it's just in short, before we read an example, victimization basically it is an limitation, thinking error, where you think that
I think
what
I think many people would know what is victimization.
they know.
You
Do
think?
you know they know?
I believe so. Hey, let me down in the comments if you actually don't know what is victimization. Then we will hook you up. My bad. My
Yeah.
bad. That I interrupted
But
you that way.
the
But
reason why I'm bringing this up because many people can have many different perceptions about what it means to be victim.
yeah, yeah,
So from that perspective, just to keep it just what
yeah.
because
To keep it. Yeah, yeah.
keep it
Got you.
simple because many people can have
Yeah, got you.
yeah. But so
Got you.
what we mean by victimization is that basically you are in a situation and you think that things are just happening to you. That's the core definition that we're gonna use in this case. And now we're gonna read the example that
Yes.
demonstrate.
This is actually a good guy. He has a lot of potential, and he will succeed, but he will not get over this pitfall that he is
Mm,
unless he actually listens
Yeah,
and does the things he needs to do.
yeah. I actually heard the conversation with you, and you gave me a really good point. But now I will read it out loud. So, yeah, not to sound arrogant, I can't help but outshine people. I don't think that's because I'm special. I think that's because I put myself around lots of people who are insecure. I've tried my best to be humble and supportive, but in vain. I'm tired. How do I put myself around people who are somewhat secure and get a job and work with them? That's the example. And I, first off, yeah, I have known this guy for a few years. He's a really great guy. He's very intelligent guy, and I know that he's that kind of person. When you talk with him, he goes straight to the point, very intense way. He doesn't bullshit. He just
Mm,
straight to the point, and you're like,
mm,
whoa. But anyways, what did you think about that? And you now hear the example. You read
yeah,
it before, but now what do you
yeah,
think?
yeah. I also read that text, and I have discussed with him prior, and like you said that you have heard the discussion, and it was he just called he wanted me to call him, or he wanted that we call each other, and we would just do like 10 to 15 minutes, like, okay, do this and that, and
Not
it
even.
stretched to like 1 hour and a half.
Yeah,
Where,
not quite
yeah,
10 or 15 minutes.
yeah, because that kind of guy, he wants to learn,
Mm,
and when you want to learn, uh you will have that, hey, what's next, hey, what's next, what about this, what
mm,
about that,
mm,
and that's why I can see potential in him, and that's why I can see that, okay, he can get somewhere.
mm,
However, for example, from this text that he sent and the things that he have told, it's a thing where you have to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself that, am I taking everything that is happening to me to be my problem?
mm,
So understand, this is not quote shit. This is not some Instagram things. This is life. And in life, everything that you have, everything that you have put up, every situation that you are in, it has something to do with the choices that you have made.
mm,
It's impossible. If you don't make choices, then you will not get anywhere.
mm,
So you have had made choices, and they have had put you in situations. Now, are you taking accountability and responsibility of those choices?
mm.
Because unless you don't take these things absolutely and utterly as your fault, then we cannot talk, because you are not trying to actually be open about it.
Mm,
And this is not just this guy, but I'm talking about like in general,
mm,
especially the great example. You go talk to a woman, she rejects you.
mm.
You start to be mad at a woman. Why are you mad at her? You don't know her.
Yeah. And you chose to approach her.
You chose to approach her.
Yeah.
Or let's say it like even better. She approaches you. Doesn't happen,
Well,
but in Finland never happens.
never happens here.
Never happens.
Never. It will never happen.
Never
I don't
happens
think it will never happen.
if
Anyways,
there's not alcohol.
well, that's a different thing.
That's a different thing.
Everyone can approach when they're drunk.
Yeah, exactly. But she approaches you. She is interested in you, let's say.
Mm,
Then after she gets to know you, she doesn't she says, "Okay, I need to go," and
mm,
dips. Well, if you don't take accountability and responsibility of that interaction, that you weren't making the interaction actually good, and then you don't look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Hey, I can be better.
mm.
It's my fault. She didn't want me, so therefore I need to be better."
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be even more honest. It does sound delusional for sure. It does sound like, hey, every woman now is saying to me that I'm not enough. But let me tell you this: if you take this mental model and you do the work, and you look at yourself like, women think I am not enough. So therefore, I have to become something.
Mm.
Doesn't that benefit you?
Mm. Everyone. It
Like,
benefits everyone.
think about it. Even if it sounds bad,
Mm.
you have to do the work after that.
Mm.
And then after you do the work, you become something.
Mm.
You don't need to become some mainstream guy who has fame and money and power, all this, but you
No,
become
no.
a good guy with a steady house and steady job, and you have these kind of things. Oh well, steady job. My bad. My bad. Jesus
No
Christ.
worries, no worries, no worries.
But you have your shit together.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. Have your shit together because, well, when you have your shit together, people can lean on you, and then you are much more likely to find the partner you want to have
Yes.
because they want to have that rock solid man who is also standing on their
They
own.
want a man.
Well, man, exactly. But isn't that true?
Facts.
Tell me.
Facts.
Tell me. I know it sounds corny, but do you want some shivery, shaking guy who will
Yeah.
be taken away by wind when there is like a big, small storm, or do you want to be that mountain who's able to handle the storm, whatever
Yes,
comes?
sir. Yes, sir.
So now the thing is, like you said, when you approach a woman, you are making the decision to approach her. You don't know what is going to happen, but if you decide, okay, because I approach her, she should accept me, she should give me compliments, she should like, according to whom? What do you think?
Exactly.
What makes you think you're so entitled that when you approach a woman, she is supposed to give you exactly what you want? It doesn't work like that. It
No.
doesn't work like that. It doesn't. It has never worked like that, and it will never will.
No. And this, we are taking examples.
Yeah.
Like the reason why we take examples and the
Mm,
reason why people take examples is because everybody has some way or another with this
mm,
example experienced it.
mm,
Everybody has.
mm,
A woman have it, not
mm,
in a rejection way, but they know the pattern that a guy comes up to them and they say no, I'm not interested, or they have a boyfriend, which
mm.
is not true. They just
Oh,
create an imaginary
yeah.
boyfriend, or it can be true. I like
They can have a real imaginary boyfriend.
real imaginary. Let's go.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, yeah.
They can have a real imaginary boyfriend, and then the guy gets upset. Oh, why she want? Why she want? Well, dude, look at yourself first. You're getting upset because a woman
Yeah, a
rejected you.
stranger in
A
a way.
stranger. That's the first thing.
She doesn't know you. She has no fucking idea where you come from. She doesn't know what you've gone through, and you don't need to care if she doesn't know that.
No.
Why do you care? Why do you care about that?
And now I'm gonna give you guys a story
Mm,
about a guy. He had. I rarely see this, but he had an absolute no fear of rejection. He actually had more fear if he didn't talk to a woman.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
Why?
and this is the way he looked at it. That if I go to her, at least I know. At least I know where she stands. At least I know what she wants.
Yeah.
But if I don't go, then I will never know.
Fear of missing out.
Exactly. Like he had it, and if he didn't go talk to that pretty woman, he would remind it after days that, man, I should
Oh,
go and talk to her,
yeah,
man.
thinking I'm a bitch because I didn't
Yeah,
talk
I
to her.
should have go talk to her, man.
Yeah.
Like that was a great paradigm for to understand that he didn't absolutely care if he got rejected or not.
Mm,
He didn't care. He actually didn't care.
mm,
But what he cared if he didn't know.
mm. Yeah, this just reminds me about like one way you can really learn how to get to learn how to be okay with rejection is door-to-door job.
That's
Go.
actually true,
That's
man.
ex
That's actually true.
But basically if you don't become an expert at sales, you will become an expert in the rejection. You will have many kinds of rejections. You will have moments you go to the door, you don't even get to say anything, and they all are bam, bam. You don't get the and say, then you have those moments when there's a hard customer, and then you're about to make her possibly say yes, but then her
You know what I'm saying, eh?
angry husband comes there, and then he waves the fist and said, "Fuck off."
Mm.
I have gone through that experience where I was actually going today. I was actually working this door-to-door job in home security service. I remember going to the door. I remember walking up the steps and ring the doorbell. there was this woman, and got to talking. I was thinking, oh yeah, we're selling this home security services. We are here for tomorrow and next day after that. She was, no, I'm not interested about that. And we were just talking, chit-chatting this and this and this. And then I happened to mention that, hey, by the way, I'm studying in the S01E University of Applied Sciences. Like, oh, I'm a teacher there. I was like, what? What? Are you a teacher there? Like, no kidding. Are you kidding me? And we bonded immediately, and we got to talking, and she was almost like, well, maybe I should reconsider. Maybe we should take you maybe to introduce at least, if nothing else. Then what happened? You wouldn't believe what happened next. Uh, Her husband stormed out of the threshold, over the threshold, like she was waving the fist, like fucking, I don't remember what he said. Like, I remember, what are you trying to force sell my wife? And the wife was so embarrassed. Like, oh my God, please don't. She's actually my boys from the school, and she was so embarrassed about it. But the man was just storming. He was just in anger. It was just what he just wanted to get rid of me, and that, like,
What you gonna do about it?
yeah,
What you gonna do about it?
what would you have done? Like, I was just dumbfounded. Like, what the hell is going on? But what I figure in the end did, I just walked away. But that's one example of how situation can escalate. Anything
Yeah,
can happen when you put yourself in the situation where you can be rejected, especially in the door-to-door job.
yeah.
So,
And I'ma ask you even one thing. Even today,
mm,
we can put it in this way. Camera rejected us. The camera, the actual
it-
camera that
mhm,
which should
that's
have
true.
worked. She or he, I don't know what it is.
It's
Non-binary.
non-binary. Oh, don't please, don't please,
Fuck that.
fuck that shit.
The camera that should have worked, it didn't work. So it rejected us.
Oh,
Do you know how much we laughed about it? We actually laughed. I said to him, like, what's the funniest part? And Puri was looking at me like, "Oh, well, what? It's nothing funny is here." I said to him, like, the funniest part was that we thought actually we're going to get a good quality this time.
and we didn't. We get better perspective. This is
but
progress, but
but the rejection is usually just a funny thing that
mm,
has happened. I can name with a friend of mine that we have been rejected, and it was because she actually had a boyfriend, but we were both so interesting, and I can tell you, we were at a place, I can't tell where. I was with a friend, and he's that kind of guy. When you see him, you will recognize that guy. He he's tall, he's muscular, but he's in very good condition, like very good shape. He's smart. He's an engineer. He he is that kind of guy that you want in your corner if shit goes down. He's
mm,
that kind of guy. And we was in a place, and there was woman in the same table, that just like this table. And I said something to that woman, and we started to talk. And then they asked that, where are you from? And usually when a woman asks that, it's not about the actual, of course they are intrigued, but they are interested more, like, okay, are you going to bullshit me, or are you going to tell the truth?
mm,
And usually women are better at detecting the bullshit than men,
yeah,
because they see it more.
yeah,
But the problem is that now it has become so common that they don't differentiate when somebody is actually telling the truth.
mm,
So it's a little bit mixed.
mm,
And I have to say for this, another thing. But yeah, we were saying, and she asked us where we're from. He said for where he's from. I usually like to play guess where game. And the reason why it gets them invested, and then they want to talk, and they want to
mm, mm,
share their knowledge, and they want to like do things,
mm,
and it gets them interested, like, okay, who the hell is this guy?
yeah.
And we start, like, they actually then got in, like, they actually started to, like, okay, you're from there. I'm like, nah, but you actually look from there. Like, nah,
Mhm.
nah. And the worst part is I had a few cuts in my lip,
Mm,
both lips. I have few
mm,
cuts, and I looked like I just was in a fight.
Mm.
It didn't look well.
Mm.
She was intrigued. They were interested,
Mm.
but they just looked at us and were like, "Okay, I'ma go." And they just went. They just walked out. They just. It was amazing because we were just having a great conversation. Then all of a sudden we were looking at her like, "You." She just went off.
What?
Yeah.
That's plain confusing.
No, this is the best part. The next time we saw her, she remembered us and she was like, "Man, I remember you two guys. Yeah, you were so cool." We are looking at
You
her like,
weren't. Did you say like you're? Yeah, we were cool, but you weren't.
"Man, that was," and we laughed about it so much.
Oh.
But think about it, if that would go well,
Mm.
yeah, it would be like great, but it wouldn't be fun.
Mm.
It wouldn't be in that sense of fun. Like you actually would laugh about it.
Mm.
So even if you get rejected, you can still laugh about it.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's a key point. Being able to laugh at something that you don't find so pleasant that could really get you through tough times, in many ways.
Yes.
But I want to get back to the
So
example.
this guy,
This guy, this guy, because there were actually many things he said
and
that got
I'm
my attention.
I'm sorry that I have to interrupt. Also, for talking to women, you cannot fake it. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care what kind of man you think you are. You cannot fake it. It's the same thing as if you go to play a basketball and you dribble with two hands.
Mm.
It's the same thing. Everybody can see it. You don't know how to play.
Mm.
Simple as that.
Mm.
It's the same thing. Don't listen to techniques and things. Do become a better man, and then you become.
Mm. Yeah.
Let's go back. I just want to clear that out because there are a lot of like. I'm sorry to go now this path, but
Go away.
there
Go
there
away.
there are
Go
there
ahead.
are there are a lot of bullshitters who will go like, "Hey, you need to say this and do that." And dude, if she really wants you, she will make it very clear, and she will
Mm.
actually do things to make it very
Mm.
easy for you to lead her and go on from there.
Mm.
If she doesn't like you or she is just a horrible human being, then it's better off not with her.
Yeah. And one thing also to take notice of when you're listening to these gurus or mentors, whatever, when you're trying to figure shit out, whatever you're doing,
Yeah,
dating, investing, uh, what else is there? Whatever hobbies you
physical
have,
fitness
physical fitness, like whatever you do, like look at their results. What are they doing? What kind of lifestyle are they acquiring?
and how
And how are
how
they
how
doing?
did they do
Exactly.
it?
What is their mindset about? Are they saying, "Oh, fuck you," or are
Yeah.
they saying that you can find the woman you want, you can have the intimacy you want, you can have all the things you want from a relationship, and you don't need to feel ashamed about it? Or is it more about, you know, thinking that you can basically push your own agenda before women's? Because
Mm,
to me, that sounds pretty fucked up. But
yeah.
maybe some people say that, well, it's justified because women are trash or something like that. And even that's, in my opinion, is also fucked up. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, besides the but yeah, I just want to clarify because people so much try to fake it,
Mm,
and I get frustrated because
yeah,
women can see it.
yeah,
They're not dumb. And yeah, in a certain way, you can say some
mm,
things, but when it doesn't come from a genuine place, then
yeah.
it's all trash.
Yeah, and even when you, let's say that you approach a woman, you are using a pickup line, whatever it is, like, oh, did it hurt you fall from the sky? Those generic ones.
Mm,
Even if that would somehow go through, and she would say, "Oh my God, thank you," and then they
mm.
set a date. What next?
Yeah, what you
What,
what you gonna do next?
what are you gonna do next? Like, even if that date goes well, what are you gonna do next? And
Exactly.
after that, even if you have a pickup line for that, what after that? What next?
You know,
What next? What next? What happens after each notice? So do you want to be counting on some pickup lines, or do you want to have the right mindset which helps you to have the thoughts that you need to have in order to get
yes,
the results you want? Because that's
yes,
more holistic way of
yeah,
viewing it, and that will also help you to be okay when things are not going so well.
yeah. I actually never have used pickup lines
Mm,
because I'm a virgin.
of course.
Well, what were you expecting? Well, what everybody was expecting. It was an easy answer. But yeah, to this guy. Okay,
You're not done with the virgin thing.
Anyway,
Anyways,
anyway.
this guy, this
So
guy who is
tell
uh,
me, what stood out for you?
stood out. First off, very first thing that stood out for me, uh, these very two first sentences, not to sound arrogant. I can't help but outshine people. Like there were many things that got my attention right from the beginning, right from the start. This sentence, I can't help but outshine
Yeah,
people.
I can't help but outshine.
What does that mean? Do you mean that you are somehow in that position that you things just happen to you? You go around people and everyone is getting insecure and they think that you're arrogant. Like how does that work? How can you say that you are just a person who is doing all the things as friendly as you can and still people take you as a dick or ass or whatever it is? How can you say that you are just a person that you're just getting into situations and circumstances and people are getting you wrong? How is that possible? And
Yeah.
especially I know that that is from for a fact that I think many times this dude mentioned that this has happened time and time again.
Mm,
And if the first time, okay, that can be that there is issues with the organization, the work environment, right?
yeah.
That is possible because
Yeah.
there are some toxic working environments. But if that keeps on repeating again and again and again, can you really prove that it's always that oh they're just insecure, they can't handle blah 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 blah? It doesn't make any sense. You cannot say that I can't help but outshine people. Of course you can. You can choose the way you come across with other people. You can always, you can think as you wish, but also we have certain norms which are in a way not obligating, but they are preferable. These norm to follow certain norms that so that we get along with all kinds of people.
Yes.
So you can think as you please, but choose wisely with whom you are gonna be open as you can be.
Of course.
That's kind of thing I just see there that he's just going through motions and getting the situation, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm outshining people. Like what?
Yeah.
I just don't understand how is that possible?
Yeah.
How do you outshine unaccidentally? I understand that there may be some things that he doesn't realize about his behavior, and he said that oh, there's so many unconscious things. That is true. Our nonverbal communication communicates 70% right from our
Mm,
communication, even
yeah.
80%. But
Yeah.
like the point is that even if that would be unconscious, when you are measuring that, when you're focusing on that, how can you tell that you are always going to do the same mistakes if you are really taking action and trying to reflect on what am I doing wrong? And then you're making adjustments, changes, and then you're taking action again. You take the data, you work on it, reflect on it maybe shortly, and then you go again. Can you really say that you cannot help but outshine people if you're really reflecting and taking action?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing that bothered me really. Yeah.
And this is actually a sign of arrogance.
Mm.
That if you actually think that you're outshining everybody, well, are you actually better than everybody you ever meet?
Mm.
It's very unlikely. Maybe in some fields you're better. Like for me, I'm better at talking than most of the people. Maybe
Mm.
almost all of them that I have personally met. But I'm not the best at it. Of course not. And I always look at it like, even with this podcast, like I said, I go and look what I did wrong, what I did right, where did I
Mm.
say this thing, what I did say, did I use the
Mm.
If I said many times, I get pissed at myself. Like, why are you saying You're not you're doing what people do,
Yeah.
talk. So example of that, what I'm trying to say that yeah, he i- in a way he says that I cannot help but outshine. It's a little bit arrogant to think that you can outshine so many people so
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah. Yeah. Following with that, I can't help but outshine, but I don't think that's because I'm special. I think that's because I put myself around lots of people who are insecure. I've tried to my best to be humble and supportive, but in vain.
Mm.
Like it sounds to me that he is kind of like, yeah, I have done my best, but no matter what I do, it won't work.
Yeah, I said to him, you haven't done your best
Mm.
because you actually, if you do your best, you cannot lose.
Mm.
the I believe in God,
Mm.
and God will test us all the damn time. And God will test us with good things, and He tests us with bad things. Now, if you do your best, God has this infinite amount of pleasures and things He wants to give to everybody. God is most merciful and most giving ever.
Mm.
Shout outs to God.
Exactly. Amen.
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 God, the most powerful, most humble, well, humble,
Omnipotent.
like the best.
Anything best.
He has infinite amount of pleasures and things he wants to give, these good, great things he wants to give to people
Mm.
because we are his creations. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to give to people who doesn't prove it.
Mm.
If you go and you do your best, your absolute best, you give it everything you have. Even God be like, well, yeah, he's done his best.
Mm.
I will give it to him.
Mm.
It doesn't happen easily because if it happens easily, well, you know what?
Yeah. We have talked about this earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm trying to say is that if you actually do your best, you cannot lose. If you actually do your best and give everything you have and you do everything, there is not a thing that you cannot mention, another thing that anybody else can mention that you can say, hey, you maybe haven't not done this. Then, if you say still that it has not worked,
Mm.
I believe that you're lying.
Mm. And in case we would appreciate if you follow up with your situation.
Sure.
So, and let us know what if our advice helps you, how what kind of action do you take, and if you get forward, just let us know so that we can maybe help you out in the future.
Yeah, of course. And listen, this is the things that we look. This is the things that we see. This is the things that we talk about, and this is are the things that we can share because we have experienced like this. For example, we have experienced for a moment that okay, I can feel invincible, but are you invincible when you get disease or sickness? Well, tone down a little bit, or something happens to you. And I would appreciate him that he was honest about it. Like this is how I see the world, and we are open for many more of these kind of questions or these kind of
Hmm.
situations,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
we can dissect them. Okay, we think it's this, we see it as this way. Maybe if you try this, it will work.
Mm.
Like we will give you these kind of advices, and these kind well, advice is a bad like I'm giving you from this position that I'm better than you know, not
Mm.
like that, but like
No, 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 no.
but in a way like hey, maybe you should try this.
Yeah, yeah. We can give very sophisticated answers that hey, maybe you could write this out if you haven't done that. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, or maybe you have done it wrong way. So maybe we can at least somehow give you some feedback,
Yeah,
if
for
nothing
example,
else.
these are
Yeah,
great like great things.
yeah,
However, I'm gonna give you one example, and then I would think that we can cut.
yeah,
Is it good?
yeah. I think so. We have
Yeah,
discussed
we
quite
have.
a lot.
I think we have made the best podcast until now
Yeah, I
because of the
agree.
fact that camera didn't work. That is
That struggle
crazy.
made it much better.
It made it better. And the last thing that I'm trying to showcase an example of a pitfall, and it's this is the world that we are living now. And you can look this up. It was in the internet and in a newspaper. There was a WhatsApp group in Finland.
Mm.
The biggest WhatsApp group was the name of it. And the biggest WhatsApp group, I don't know what was the point of it. I don't know because I didn't want to learn anything beyond that. In a sense that okay, I know everything about it. I don't need to know about it. But what I did need to know is what happened. And what happened is that there were over hundreds of children in that WhatsApp group from age to 7
Mm.
to 50, from age to 7 to 15.
Mm.
And their people, grown adults, would send their dick pics in a
Oh
WhatsApp
my
group.
God.
Think
Really?
of,
For
yeah,
real?
yeah. Think about it. Like sexually exclusive things were sent in that WhatsApp group
Oh my
and
god.
said in that WhatsApp group to the kids under age of 18.
To the kids, not just
The WhatsApp group. To who do you send them? There were hundreds and hundreds of kids, and in that group,
they
people
knowingly send it. Not. Oh
people
my.
sent in that group dick pics of themselves and
Wow.
write things. This is an epitome of a pitfall for those
Oh
kind of human beings that are behind those screens who take those dick pics and showcase to
yeah.
the little boys or little girls.
Oh
I'm gonna go even deeper. Those kids have an actual danger to go in that pitfall because they can easily persuade in a way because kids are very smart. They're very they are very smart. They are very wise. And when you talk to them, I know from experience because I've coached a little leagues basketball team.
oh yeah.
I know
They
from
are smart.
experience when I talk to them, they are looking at me like, okay, you know what you're doing. Why? Because not only I have showcased them that I can do this, but also I actually live it. So therefore, they respect the way I do it, and because they respect that, they listen to me. Believe it or not, there hasn't been an instance where I have to say to a boy that, hey, don't do this. I believe it or not, I said it once, and the guys never did it. Never
Impressive.
once. After that, they never do it. Or, for example, do push ups. They did something that is not suitable for basketball team.
Mm,
Push ups.
mm,
Everybody did push ups.
mm,
It wasn't a question.
mm.
Like, these are the things.
Yeah.
But the pitfall when I'm talking about is think about that part of the kid where they are still impressionable. It can still affect
Yeah.
very many various way of how they think and how they feel and how they look at things. And think
Oh
about
yeah. Yeah.
some
Mm.
yeah, think about somebody who is a sick, twisted son of a bitch goes and texts something to your children
Yeah, and thinking like around how old were the children in that group? Like 5, 6, 7?
from 7 to
Oh
15.
my God! Like thinking that they have just about 7 or 15 years, they're just about to start perceiving the world,
Yeah.
barely kind of learning things like, okay, so this is how the things work in the world. And now there is a WhatsApp group where some sick people are sending
Yeah.
dick pics.
Yeah.
What is that gonna do to the psyche?
Yeah.
Hopefully, those children never saw that picture. But for
What do you
those who,
think?
like, I hope at least that all of them saw it.
Of course.
But
And
of course, we know that some saw them.
we're
I
like,
wish, I wish all the best. Hopefully, the ones who suffer from it will get the help they need.
yes, we hope so. And I, I'm proud of a police what they have doing. They have actually actively trying to reach that group and actually try to do things for that group that they don't do those things and they get the
Oh,
hell out of there. However, there are bad things in in this world, and there
yeah.
are bad people in this world, and then in this world, you have to understand that those pitfalls are actually ones that can separate you from the good life and the bad life.
Oh, yeah.
For example, I'm not even talking about the kids because the kids will grow up
Mm,
and they will meet other people and they will grow and learn and they can have a possibility of not to experience that trauma and then flip it and make it something useful for them.
mm,
Like you get what I'm saying?
mm,
But what about those people who do send those dick pics or, or those sexually exclusive? What kind of people are they? That's my question.
hmm. That's
So
a good question, by the way.
that's why I said epitome of a pitfall, because do you know how low as a human being, as a man,
Mm,
you have to go if you have to send a dick pics to children?
mm. That's just fucked up. That's really fucked up.
I wish you would try to my children. I wish
Mm.
I would 100% guarantee that when he goes to the court, he wants to change genders. Just like there is another example of it, but we will talk it
Next
on the
time.
next time.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you think, for the most part, we have covered the most important things. Like, or do you have something else?
I think we have covered very well what pitfalls can and
Yeah,
can be and what can do.
yeah. One final thing I want to add, like the scary thing about Pitfall, and we like to think, like you said earlier, that there are only few things
Mm,
holding, separating us from those who are already in the pitfall or have fallen down further, further, and further. The thing is that that is actually absolutely true, even from my own experience as well. There are only a few things you need to do. You don't even need to do that many wrong decisions.
no,
Just to say 2 to 3 decisions, very bad decision, and you can put yourself in a really troublesome situation.
yes, sir.
And so don't take for granted all the luxuries you have right now, because they can be very easily taken away when you choose to surround yourself with that one wrong person, with that
Yes,
wrong one you do that wrong one wrong activity or whatever it is. Just a few steps away, you can turn your life upside down. And well, hopefully you never get there, but if you do, will let us know.
a great metaphor for this
Mm,
to end this discussion.
mm.
Or do you have anything else?
No, no, go ahead.
You can eat every day an apple,
Mm,
but it takes just one bad apple
mm, yeah,
to not be anymore in this life.
mm, exactly. That's really great metaphor.
I hope you get great things about from this, and I hope that you have questions and you want us to review a situation that you have. And I wish nothing else but the best of luck. May
Yeah,
God bless you.
God bless you. See you.